Alrighty, beautiful people. In today's psychological lecture, we're going to be talking about the one thing that is keeping you all unprofitable. And what that is you not collecting data. Now, you guys have probably heard this before. What does collecting data even mean? How do I do it? What does it benefit and how does it benefit me? So the one critical mistake I see majority of traders make and what keeps them underwater and unprofitable is making the same mistakes, right? And it's kind of like an analogy I can put it in is like, imagine you're studying for the test and you make one mistake on the study guide and then you're like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. And you just go to the next question. That wouldn't really make sense, right? If you wanted to study the best possible way for that test and almost certainty that you will pass that test, you would say, you know what? Wait, why did I make that mistake on that individual question? What was that individual question that basically screwed me up, right? And how do I go about fixing it, right? And this is with multiple things. With collecting data as a whole, it's not just simply just technical analysis, right? Because that's what journaling is for. Collecting data is a whole separate thing. Collecting data is around news drivers. Collecting data is around quarters, right? Which quarters is your model working in the best? If I ask you, let me challenge you guys. If I asked you all right now, what's your average win rate? What news drivers do you operate the best on based off of your own system and personality? Which quarters are the best for you to trade in? 99% of you guys would not be able to answer those three questions. I could answer those three questions because I've collected the data across the years of me trading to be able to interpret all of those individual things. And this ultimately gets me to a standpoint of being able to beat you. And the reason for that being is because of the fact that I know which days to trade and you don't, right? Because it's like, okay, let's take NFP, right? This previous week was horseshit and dog shit price action. We can all agree on that. Why did I not trade and all of you guys traded? Well, I knew my system. I knew the probable conditions of those individual days due to the fact of your own ignorance, right? You are too lazy to collect data around your system to understand it more, to understand which days are going to be high probable, to understand which days are going to be low probable. You know this deep down in your own heart as well. Now, the easiest way we can all collect data and we can all get to the standpoint of collecting data is sitting there as professionals and asking ourselves, okay, which days do I perform on? Which days do I not perform on? Well, I've noticed, okay, let's say this is your 5th month trading. So you've experienced 5 NFP weeks. Okay, I've noticed on NFP weeks, typically I shit the bed. So what data can I collect around this? Okay, well, I understand, Tuesdays of NFP weeks typically are always green for me. Okay, so I'm going to keep Tuesdays on the list of days I can trade. You know what? Thursday and Friday are days I always shit the bed. So what am I going to do moving forward? I'm not going to trade the Thursday and Friday of NFP weeks. You know that this is a part of your system. You know that this would help you out. But why are you not doing it is the question you need to ask yourself. It always will come back down to how badly you want it, right? Within all of your problems and all your mistakes in trading, it will always just simply come back to how badly do you want to become a profitable day trader? Are you willing to sit there and for hours collect data around your system? The nice part is you only have to do it once. This is one of the rare things in trading that you only have to do once to really comprehend. You fuck up on an individual day, great. Don't let one mistake hurt your mentality. Collect the data around it and move forward. So now, moving forward, you do not make the same mistake on that individual day. One of the worst news drivers for me personally, for some reason, was Prelim. I forgot the rest of it, but it's just Prelim, basically. It's a high-impact news driver. Comes out at typically 10 a.m. And I just noticed every single time I trade Prelim, I just shit the bed. It does not work for me. So now, moving forward, anytime I see Prelim on Forex Factory, I do not trade Prelim. Now, how did I get to that standpoint? By collecting the data around that individual news data, right? Around that individual news day. And you all can do the same exact thing. Like I mentioned, it will always simply come back down to how badly you want to get to profitability and what extent are you willing to get to. Are you willing to sit there for hours and journal and backtest and forward test and collect data around your system to ultimately progress at so much faster of a rate of return that you're going down right now? Because you can, and I've seen this happen, there's a lot of traders who don't do this, right? And I always get arguments from some profitable day traders saying, well, I didn't do this. How long did it take those people? Years, years, years. Because naturally their discretion just got built into their brain naturally after years. But do you guys want your journey to be off of the basis of luck or off of the basis of skill? This is a question you need to ask yourselves. Because if you want it off the basis of luck, then you can have the thought process of saying, okay, if I want to get to a profitable day trader, it will just be some natural event that will happen down the line in a couple of years and hopefully it works out, right? That's person A's perception. Person B's perception is, no, I'm going to collect data around my system. I'm going to back test. I'm going to forward test. I'm going to journal. I'm going to have a relationship with God. I'm going to do all of the things necessary on a day-to-day basis that will ultimately allow me to get to profitability. Right? And person B will get to profitability much faster than person A. If we take 100 people, right? Or sorry, let's take 200 people. 100 people are person A and 100 people are person B. If I had to ask you guys the question right now, which group of people are going to get to profitability faster? Person A group or person B group, right? Obviously, you would all say person B. So if you know this now, why aren't you doing everything in your power to mimic the person B group? Right? Of the day-to-day actions, backtesting, forward testing, journaling, relationship with God, collecting data around your system. Because you know ultimately that will allow you to get to profitability much faster at a rate of return than you're going down right now. The last thing I want for my viewers as a whole is to have the backbone of their career off the basis of just luck and hopes and prayers. Right? It's like, okay, we do hopes and prayers on top of extremely hard work. That's the true formula. But if your formula is just hopefully everything works out, then you're kind of shit out of luck. And you're going to probably fall into the demographic of losing traders. There's a reason why the statistic of failure rate is so high. And the reason on why is because of the fact that no one is willing to work hard. Majority of people are just not willing to work hard. Unfortunately, this is just how it works. And it's with everything. It's with entrepreneurship. It's with starting businesses. You ask the question, why is majority of people broke, right? Why are majority of people broke? Why do majority of people not have $1 million? It's because of the fact that they're lazy. They're not willing to sit there and dedicate themselves and understand that their life journey is going to be difficult and what they're going to go through is difficult, but they'll get to the end of the tunnel if they genuinely work hard. And this is correlatable inside of trading as well. Why are majority of people unprofitable day traders? Well, it's due to the fact that majority of people are not willing to work hard. Right? That's as simple as it is. So if you now have the formula, right, you know exactly what to do. How do you collect data? Most important part about this video. And I intentionally yapped in the middle of it to tell you guys at the end because people who are incapable of watching an 8-minute YouTube video deserve to fail anyways. But how do you collect data properly? Number one, there's technical data, right? And number two, there is news driver data, right? So there's two different types of data that you can collect. Technical analysis data, okay, based off of your own system, your own strategy, your own criteria, you are journaling your trades, right? That's collecting data in one format. The other format is news drivers, based off of probability and probable conditions. There's a fly pissing me off right now. Based off of news drivers, based off of probability and conditions, right? So how you collect data around this is you understand the price action within this news driver and you note it in a journal somewhere, whether that be Notion, Notes, doesn't matter, some journaling software, right? So you recognize, hey, the day before NFP is terrible price action, I'm not gonna trade it. And the actual day of NFP, it's very, very discretionary based. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really bad. So I'll gauge NFP day based off of the news driver open and also market open. But then the day before, I don't want to trade it. You go write that down somewhere because that's based off of your own system. And then insert CPI. Okay, well CPI, actually notice I take a lot of winning trades on CPI. So I'm gonna keep CPI. This is the protocol for CPI. And then for prelim, I notice I shit the bed for prelim. I'm not gonna trade it. I notice for Powell speaking and FOMC minutes are the two news drivers I will never trade. That's me personally. That's what I've noticed out of my own trading. I never trade Powell or FOMC minutes. They're terrible news drivers. Insert any other news driver. You just have to write it down somewhere. So then it's like you know the answer to the problem before it even starts. I do this thing in my Discord where I basically, before a terrible news driver that I've collected data around, I just tell my Discord members, yo, don't trade today. And then the price action's horrible, and then they won't trade, and they'll be like, how did you know it's going to be low probable? And I'm just like, collected data. It literally is to that point. You know in, what's that anime? Naruto, right? Or he has the Sharingan. You literally get Sharingan, basically, because you know exactly what is going to happen before it happens, because you have the collected data around the system. I've luckily been doing this for 7 years now, 7.5 years, right? So I have a lot of discretion, right? Actual applied and actually taking it serious, roughly 4 years. But I've been overall building my discretion for 7 years, right, in the marketplace. So I know a little thing or two when it comes to news drivers and all of these things. But you guys can have that too. If you start now, you're able to collect data around your system, around backtesting, forward testing, journaling, relationship with God, and as well as collecting data around your technical analysis system and your news driver and news sentiment system. It's so important that you guys start this now and start this today. And the question will always remain the same. How badly do you want to become a profitable day trader? And if the answer is extremely bad, you know exactly what to do and you know what will overall allow you to basically get to profitability. That's it. That's as simple as it is. I'm in Arizona right now, as you can see. God beaming the sun down on me right now, and there's flies everywhere. So I'm gonna head out. Short video. I just wanted to tell you guys the importance of collecting data and what you're truly missing out on, because a lot of you guys can get to profitability much faster if you start to collect data now. Anyways, y'all, I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.